And all I can say is these are exciting times in Worcester. I don't know if we can break the great news that was shared with everybody down at City Hall last week, but we'll try to do our best today. And speaking on behalf of one native Rhode Islander, I'm very happy about the news from last week. Congratulations. We're going to keep the good news going, and to kick things off, I'd like to invite Massport CEO Thomas P. Glynn to the stage.
Thank you, Andy, and good morning to everybody. And I want to congratulate Andy for doing the great job that he does every day, which is why we're seeing the growth that we are here today to celebrate. So today we are celebrating what I'm going to call a sneak preview. We're going to announce, when the Lieutenant Governor steps up, a new airline and a new city that is going to be part of the Worcester system. But we're not going to announce all the details today. They'll be forthcoming. But we had just signed a contract that Frenny signed with this airline. We wanted to make sure we shared the news as soon as possible with everybody. So you'll be hearing in a few minutes about a new city and a new airline, which I think is a great example of how Worcester's on the move, and people from the airline industry are really looking at Worcester in a very, very serious way. I want to thank Ed Frenny, who's used to be here someplace. Here he is. I want to thank our airline partner, who we're not acknowledging yet because it's a secret. Whoever you are. Yeah. Rich Cawley, who has been our partner with Retrix, a very, very successful facility here. We appreciate his support. And I'm going to let the sheriff introduce the elected officials. So as I turn it over to the sheriff, I just want to say how fortunate we are at Massport to have Lou Evangelitis as our chair, the second person in a row from Worcester as our chair. He will acknowledge the previous chair from Worcester. So, you know, law enforcement is one of our most important priorities. So it's great that we have somebody on the board who is an expert in law enforcement, and it's great that that person is also the chair. So, you know, Lou is a big advocate on behalf of Worcester Airport, but also on behalf of all other aspects of the Massport mission. So today we asked him if he would be willing to kick things off and recognize a lot of the folks who have helped bring the revival of Worcester back to its prominence from the elected official community and the city and town official community. So without further ado, let me turn it over to Lou Evangelitis.
So, it's a little better for me, Tom. But, you know, first off, I want to thank you. Some of you may or may not know, but Tom Glynn has been our CEO for the last 6 years, and he's been truly extraordinary to work with. But he has really made a decision. I'm sure it was a difficult one for him and for all of us to hear, but he's made the determination to move on to his next adventure in life. But I can say to you on behalf of all of us on the board, and I believe I'm speaking for everyone at Massport, to say, Tom, thank you for your 6 extraordinary years of leadership. Tom always understood Worcester, and whenever we ever talked about it, he always made sure Worcester was always on the table. Massport always gave focus to Worcester and what was happening out here, and it meant a lot to me right from the get-go with the prior chair, Mike Angelini, as well, keeping an eye out here. So this is just another incredible day. I always feel kind of like it's like Groundhog Day. I don't know if you guys believe it, but can you believe we're back up here again with another announcement like this? It seems like we just had one, and we've had a tremendous string of great announcements coming out of Worcester. You know, we had JetBlue make the announcement just last year. They've been up here for several years now, flying us to Fort Lauderdale and Orlando. But they've also made a commitment now to fly to JFK. We had last year's announcement for American. And today we have, oops, I almost said it, Tom. But it's my 2 jobs today, to introduce the next speaker and not say the word. So far, so good. But I did want to acknowledge some of the electeds who are here today, and I hope I don't miss anyone. We had a list of them, and as they came in, we tried our best to check them. So if we do, we have Representative Don Berthium here. Donnie, thank you for joining us today, Don. We We have Representative Kate Campanella from Worcester here today. Kate's here. Right back there. I see we have Danielle Guargori. I came in with Danielle. She's here today. We have Constantina Lukes here today from the city. Connie, thank you for joining us. Did I see Christian King here? Was he here earlier? Okay, I didn't know if I saw Christian. John Mahoney's here, representative right there. So the tall guys. Representative Dave Moradian is here as well from Grafton. Thank you, Dave. And a good friend, District Attorney Joe Early's here as well. I know I saw Joe was talking. Thank you for being here with us. And I apologize for anyone we may have missed, but this is, again, a representation of the incredible commitment our elected officials have had in making this an incredible success. Being in law enforcement, those sounds make me a little nervous, but I think we're okay. I don't see anybody jumping. But anyway, before I make the introduction of the next speaker, I just want to comment again a little bit on Massport's investment here. And for those of you who do not know, and I think most of you do because I look around and I see a lot of the faces that were here just a couple months ago when we made the most recent announcement. But we have about a $100 million investment Massport has made since 2010 in this very airport. And we're talking about a Category 3 lighting system, we're talking about runways, we're talking about terminal improvements, we're talking about firefighting and snow removal. There has been a commitment. And this really is the embodiment of what this commitment means when you have days like this, very special days. So I'm eternally grateful on behalf of the citizenry of Worcester County and this region for Massport's commitment to make this a special airport that it's on its way to do. There's going to be estimated now over $369 million of economic activity in the next 5 to 10 years coming out of this very airport. So this is a significant investment. We're going to see the fruition, and my one last word before I move on to our next speaker is fly Worcester. If I have any message today, it's like, please utilize this airport and please fly Worcester. A lot has gone into it. I see Lieutenant Governor there. It's also played a big part in this being here today. We appreciate that. So without any further ado, I would not be on the board but for the next person and our governor. They had the faith in me, which I'm very grateful for, and giving me the opportunity to serve in the capacity as on the Massport board and now as chairman. I often talk about the governor and lieutenant governor, and the governor's here a lot. I call the governor an honorary citizen of Worcester County, but our next speaker is a citizen of Worcester County. She has been tireless advocate for us out here in Worcester County. We're so blessed to have her as an advocate for us and someone who's always there when we need her. She's here constantly, and we're so grateful for her. So without any further ado, our Lieutenant Governor, Karen Polito. Thank you, Karen.
So this is a skill that both prior speakers have mastered, and not spilling the beans, right? And I think it's important to have a surprise or a good announcement to get everybody here in this room, but I don't think it's a hard task. As a community, we always come together, whether there's a challenge or there's an opportunity, to show our support, to show our love for this community, and to show that we truly believe in ourselves. And it really does start with that. I also want to thank Tom Glynn for believing in Worcester. You're not a Worcester boy, I know that, but you are Massachusetts, and you understand how important this asset is to the central region of the Commonwealth and to our Commonwealth. And you, over the past 6 years, have had a lot to deal with, certainly in airport security, in the expansion of the seaport, one of the most valued development parcels in the world, and to also expand the international opportunities at Logan, because we have so many people doing business with this Commonwealth, students coming from all over the world to come to school here, and people to come through this wonderful state to visit and tour. And you've never lost sight of your ability to leverage the assets at Logan to expand the Worcester Airport. And you were very effective at that, and we are very grateful, and we have a lot to show for it now. So you will always have a special place in our hearts here, Tom, and I know that there's more to come in your future. I think you said you were 72 years and ready to move on, but move on to other things because we need you. So thank you. Thank you. I also want to thank John Frankovich. It's not hard for you to be here, being that these are your roots, and for taking over at some point in November the the responsibilities of running the whole operation. So thank you, John. To our chairs, Mike, you had a lot to do with this. You were one of those big believers and champions of Worcester, and being the former chair of Massport, you never lost sight of our goals here. We thank you, and thank you, Lou, for picking up the reins and really charging forward. We talk about if you build it, they will come, and that's where Congressman McGovern comes into play. Obviously, another true believer in this city, but really making sure that the infrastructure here, the necessary dollars that flowed from the feds to the systems here that were necessary, working with the Massport dollars to create the infrastructure. We didn't have a plan around infrastructure, runway improvements, signals and switches, a beautiful terminal that everybody loves because you can basically park and walk and get in and out of here so conveniently, and of course the technology to kind of clear away literally the clouds, the perception that people had that you can't get in and out of here when it's bad weather. That's all behind us. All this investment has been made, and now it's truly, if you build it, they will come. They are here. And it's great to be able to come and celebrate the momentum, not only here at Worcester Airport, but the momentum that this city is experiencing under strong leadership. Obviously, Tim Murray from your years as a mayor, to Ed Augustus as manager. I know Joe Petty is also on the Believer team, and others. And what's so gratifying for all of us is that yes, we believe in ourselves, but now other people are validating and confirming what we already know. When you have investments being made in Worcester, like the Worcester Red Sox coming to play here, is really amazing. And of course, having a third airline now develop a connection here. So building on the success of JetBlue and their connection to the hub at JFK and to Florida, and building on the announcements of American Airlines and their commitment to flying to Philadelphia and Philadelphia to here. We are very pleased to announce another major airline, and Delta Airlines making a connection west to Detroit. Delta to Detroit sounds pretty good to me. Delta, and I know Ravi will be here to speak, thank you. Delta to Detroit. Detroit connects to another 100 destinations. And when you think about Detroit, also a major city under restoration, reform, doing more things in Detroit, trying to get their city better situated. The connections between Worcester and Detroit are real, and I think that the connections between sports teams and the universities is going to be really important for both of our cities to partner together. So I'm really pleased that Delta has decided to make an investment here in our city. So we'll add you to the list of true believers and what's happening here. We call this the Massachusetts way, the Worcester way, and we're really proud of having partners like you continue to see the promise and opportunity that is absolutely here. So I will let you fill in the details, Ravi, but we're really pleased to now have JFK, American Airlines, Retrix, and Delta to serve the people here in Central Massachusetts. And I would say, as a proud resident of Central Massachusetts, I love seeing so much activity in the air. It's like clockwork at a particular point at time. Over the weekend, I'll see the flights come over, and I know that there's a lot of people moving in and out of the city, getting to destinations around the world, which is really a great accomplishment for all of us. Congratulations to every one of you in this room. Congratulations to Andy Davis. You're running a great operation here. To all the Massport employees and to all the airline employees that come to this facility to work, we're very grateful, and we thank you for giving the customers that you serve, the people of this Commonwealth, a great experience. Congratulations, be safe, and God bless.
So if I can have everybody in the front row and all the elected officials to go over, we're going to have the official unveiling of the Delta ticket counter. So, and then we're going to finish with a couple more speakers, but we want to build on the Lieutenant Governor's announcement and then take a picture of the official unveiling of the Delta ticket counter.
Standing down.
I'll be right here. Come on up. Together, come on. Robbie,
Let's have a whole row coming in front of that Delta if we could. On the low section. We think it's right behind, we hope. But when it does come out, just leave a little bit of an area so we can see that side. Alright, and I'll be the counter, and everybody squeeze in nice and tight.
nobody turn this on.
There you go. Come right in there. Alright, let's see here. Alright, let's see how we're looking. Looking good. And on the count of 3, here we go. 1, 2, 3. There it is. Yeah. You guys can squeeze together too. We see enough of that sign. Come in there, keep coming.